Hello everyone, welcome to Groups Curriculum. This is Rahul. As part of the lecture series that we have been doing for the past few days on Indian Space Program, today we will be discussing about Indian Space Program. So let's get started. So the agenda for today is we'll be discussing about Indian Space Program before independence and post independence, as well as the various rockets that they were launched as part of Indian Space Program, as well as various satellite programs that happened. Okay. So, what happened before independence? For example, here S.K. Mitra, he was doing experiments. Some of the experiments which becomes the basis for later on sounding rocket experiments that happened as part of ISRO. Okay, and C.V. Raman, we know here he discovered Raman effect, which is also important in studying the cosmic radiation. Meghnad Saha also he has discovered some equations which are very famous in the space program. And from 1945 onwards, this is the actual period in which Indian space program has been in an organized manner. You know the famous two scientists who are the founding fathers for space program in India. It is one is Homi Jahangir Baba and the other is Vikram Sarabhai. Both of them they are revered well in the space history of India. And mostly earlier, what were the areas before independence that the experiments have happened? It is one is cosmic radiation. Right now, also we are, for example, when you're talking about neutrinos, then also or the God particle. These are all cosmic radiation which we are testing right now. Even the experiments are happening, and altitude is something like at a higher height. Airborne testing is through planes or sounding rockets, and underground experiments. For example, earlier the experiments happened in about the proton decay in Kolar. Though this happened in post-independence period, but this is also one of the major experiments as part of Indian space program. Okay, so then what happened in the post-independence period? So these are the major phases in the post-independence Indian space program. For example, Department of Atomic Energy. This is the most important technical institution that was set up in post-independence period. Under it, it was formed under Homi Jahangir Baba, who have given funding for the space program. If you remember, in the previous lecture, we have discussed that Russia has launched its first satellite Sputnik in 1957. So it was during this period that uh, DIA provided funding for space experiments. And as you all know, Nehru, he has been instrumental in setting up one major scientific institutions in India, which include IITs or IISc. IISc was started earlier on, but he has been instrumental in formation of Department of Atomic Energy, and under him only, Indian National Committee on Space Research, Indian National Committee on Space Research. It was started in 1962, which was a precursor to ISRO. So, in COSPAR, it was later on superseded by Indian Space Research Organization in 1962, which was set up under Vikram Sarabhai as a chairman. So these are the major phases in which the institutional setup of uh, Indian space program has happened. Okay, so now let's move on to the rocket program. So here I have not dealt with the basics of rockets, but I'll come up with a new lecture specifically dedicated to rockets. Okay, but here I'll be telling you briefly. So here in 1960s and 70s, mostly with the help of earlier we had help of France, Russia. Then we have gained the technology of sounding rockets. So what is sounding rockets? Sounding is nothing but measuring. For example, every day if you see at the sky, you can see something like smoke, that one rocket is going up in the sky and it is releasing smoke. Okay, so here basically what is happening is that it will carry some uh, disposable or dispensable scientific equipment which takes some parameters in the sky, like at this height what is the pressure or temperature or the other components. So this is the sounding, that is measuring of certain parameters in space or within the atmosphere. Okay, this was the initial technology that we gained. In these are basically very very small rockets. They can be like less than 100 kgs also, and they can be used only once. Later on, once we gained the uh, expertise in sounding rockets technology, it was later on used for SLV and ASLV. In this phase, Kalam, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the former President of India as well as Bharat Ratna recipient, he has been instrumental in this phase of experiments in India. So satellite launch vehicle, as you can see, it has a payload mass of only 40 kg. Basically, these were all uh, a kind of experimental satellites from where we have mastered the technology and we have used in the later phases of rocket program. Okay, so it is mostly into low Earth orbit, and later on augmented satellite launch vehicle which had some boosters and it could carry up to 150 kg. And these were the experiments that happened in 1970s. And then comes the workhorse, which we call as workhorse, because it has been like nearly 50 experiments have happened and only two of them were failures. One is partial failure, one was complete failure. So it is also called the workhorse because PSLV is the satellite, is the rocket from which we have launched most of our satellites, which are like up to 1000 or 1500 kg, and mostly into, as the name itself suggests, it is polar SLV. In our earlier lecture, we have seen like polar is a low Earth orbit, which means the rocket doesn't need much power, and it is basically we are using for IRS satellites or Cartosat or other satellites which are not of much weight. So then comes in 2000s, we have started the GSLV. The program was started earlier, but the first launch was in 2001. And initially, we were using imported cryogenic engines. Later on, we were denied the technology. We have, for building or for gaining mastery over cryogenic technology, we took like more than 15 years. And recently, only GSLV has moved from uh, experimental phase to the next phase. So this is about the rocket program in the post-independence period. Now let's look at the satellite program. So even before our own rockets, we have launched some satellites with the help of Soviet Union. These were Aryabhatta and Bhaskara. These were launched with the help of foreign countries. Like right now, we are helping some other countries to launch their own satellites as part of Indian space program. Then Soviet Union helped us launch these vehicles. Later on in 1980s, these were where these were when our own indigenous satellites were launched. Rohini and INSAT. INSAT are nothing but they are put in geo orbit or geosynchronous or 36,000 kilometers. They are mainly used for communications. And IRS. India has one of the largest IRS constellations in the world, remote sensing satellites constellations. It is put in low Earth orbit and basically used for resource monitoring, and it will take pictures regularly. So these were the experiments that are the satellites that were launched from the 1980s. Here, when we say INSAT, it means that INSAT program was started then. When we say IRS, it means that the IRS program was started. It's not that it has ended in 1980s itself, because inside 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D till to like late 1990s also we had many INSAT satellites being launched. IRS also till late 1990s, and IRS, both of them were renamed, which we will see in later on. And in 1990s we launched another category of satellites. For example, SROS. This is our first astronomical satellite. Like right now we have AstroSat or upcoming NISAR. These are all astronomical satellites. Similarly, SROS is an astronomical satellite. And we also launched in 1990s OceanSat. This is our first um, project based or program based. Like it was basically used to monitor the sea surface temperatures, and also it helped in disaster management. Okay, this was you should remember that SROS, it is our astronomical satellite, and OceanSat, it was program based. Okay, so next, coming to 2000s, we have made some major breakthroughs in the 2000s. For example, GSAT. GSAT is nothing but INSAT was overridden by GSAT satellites. So it is also in 36,000 kilometers orbit, or GEO, or geosynchronous orbits. And Kalpana and METSAT, this is also one of the purpose built or for specific reason meteorological satellite. And ResourceSat, which has overtaken or overridden the earlier IRS satellites. Cartosat is also a form of remote sensing only. And this is where we have started the space exploration. So 2008 Chandrayaan, this is a major breakthrough for India, where in which we have put a satellite in orbit around the moon, and also uh, we have dropped a payload onto the surface of the moon. And Chandrayaan is very important. We will be discussing about each of these programs in detail in later um, in later on, whatever the lectures are coming. We will be discussing there in detail. And in 2000s, which means right now, okay, we are in 2020. So in 2000s, what happened is we have launched the nano satellites. Nano satellites are those which are less than 1 kg in weight, and student satellites, like some of the universities, Amruta, or some of the IITs, Satyabama University, I don't remember the exact name. Many of the universities have launched their own satellites with the help of ISRO. And in 2000s, we have gone beyond the Earth and Moon system, and we have put a satellite in the orbit around the Mars orbiter mission. And India became the first in the world, first country to put a satellite in orbit around the Mars in its first attempt, which is a matter of pride for all of us Indians. And we have also started the IRNSS, which is also called Navik program, which is basically a GPS or local GPS for India and surrounding countries around 5,000 kilometers. Okay, 5,000? Oh, I think it is 1,500. Just go back and see the number 1,500. One question was also asked in Group 1 exam about this. Okay, and we have also placed AstroSat, which is a space-based observatory for India, and it has multiple bandwidth. And recently, last year only, we have launched the Chandrayaan 2, wherein the rocket was supposed to place a lander as well as a rover, lander as well as a rover on the surface of the moon. But at the last moment, when the satellite is only, or when the lander is only a few hundred meters above the surface of the moon, it got lost. And we are also going to launch Chandrayaan 3, which is a repeat of the earlier program. So these were the basic phases, or the brief history of the space program in India. Okay, we'll be discussing about each of these in detail in, in later lectures, and also an update for you. I'll be providing you the English version of the lectures, and one of my friend, he will be providing you the Telugu lectures. Also, um, if you have some doubts, just put it in the comments below, and we'll clarify. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you.